Good morning, everyone. My name is Lorene. Welcome to Books at the Bottom of the Stairs. Today is a little bit different because our daughter is here with her friend Zachary, and so there might be a little bit of human noise in the background because it's kind of hard to control 4 people in lockdown and get everybody to be quiet at the same time. So if you hear or see something you don't like, just hit the forward button. So I'm here to talk to you about 2 different books. As part of the classics project that a lot of booktubers are doing, I had decided that one of my classics to read would be Agatha Christie's first book. I have seen some movies. There's a couple of movies that are very good, and I think I picked up one of the ones that have to do with Tommy and Tuppence. I didn't really like that. It was a bit infantile. Anyways, whoops. That's the nonfiction pile. So this is the first one, Murder at the Vicarage. It's the first one. I found it kind of interesting because the main character, or the narrator, is the vicar. And I just made an assumption after all these years that the main narrator would be Miss Marple. But she's not really that prominent in the book until, with each little, like 50 pages or so, Miss Marple becomes more and more present, but not in any kind of a significant way. And I think it's interesting that all the men in the book, including the vicar for a while, just are so dismissive of the older ladies who do have a tendency to be peeking from behind curtains. So I can see why they would be a bit dismissive, but just generally speaking, the men's attitudes to women as contributors to the investigation are not very friendly at all. Well, I guess maybe it's, of the times, or maybe it's a caracature. I'm not sure. I guess if we try and read these things with a sense of humor, we can determine that it's a caricature. And so that's my approach to it. Anyways, of course, it's a great book. I don't really have anything new and insightful to add to it. I will continue with the series over time. It's just lighthearted enough that you can, pick it up as you find it on the library shelves and intersperse it. It's a good palate cleanser, I guess. I enjoyed that one. That was nice. The second book that I read was White Cat by Holly Black. Holly Black is known for a lot of books. She's, I'm trying to remember now, the Spiderwick Chronicles, which I don't think I've read. This one is the beginning of a trilogy, and it was published in, I didn't write that down, I wrote down the characters' names, because I'm always forgetting. But this one should be available in all 3. Sorry, where did that go? I should have written 2010. So I'm sure that the remainder of the series, and actually now that I'm talking out loud, I did put them on hold at the library, so I know that the next 2 books are out, Red Glove and Black Heart. So in this book we meet Castle, who is the main character, and he has 2 brothers, Baron and Philip. And the world that they live in, people are called workers, and they have got some kind of a magical ability, whether it's to manipulate emotions or it has more to do with human interaction, good luck charms, bad luck charms, death, like the ability to kill someone just by touch. And so everybody wears gloves. And there is the possibility, and it doesn't happen very often, that someone has the curse, I guess, of being able to transform things. So Castle, when we meet him, just seems to be having all these memory lapses. And, it's hard to talk about some of these books without giving spoilers away, because if I tell you what he really experienced, we don't really get a good picture of that until at least 50% into the book. We're seeing his world and his confusion, and he really doesn't have a good ability to make friends. He's not terribly good at connecting with anybody. He is not a worker, and his 2 brothers are. One of them can do things with memory, and the other one, I don't know. His working doesn't really play a big role. Come on down if you want. You're going to see my daughter's knees go by. There we go. Phoebe's knees.
And Zachary's coming in a second too.
Oh, and here comes Zachary. Don't trip over anything.
Try it out.
Zachary's knees much bigger than Phoebe's. Oops.
Oh yeah, the light's low.
And the light, he's so tall. Aww. I'm not going to edit that out. I mean, you know, you don't get comic relief like that.
That's good. That's quality.
Do we have some foam to wrap around this?
We're all way shorter than Zachary, so he's showing us where all the low spots are in the house. Okay, so it turns out that Castle doesn't have any curses, and so he's a non-worker, and he's frustrated by this because at the same time his life is kind of indicating that something's not right. He knows something is happening. He can't lay it down and figure it out, and we just travel along in his confusion. But as the chapters go past, we realize there's a fairly complex plot going on. There's an assassination being plotted, and the family that Castle's family works for are sort of a crime family, crime bosses, and so there's the loyalty within the workers, and something else is going to happen. Brace yourself. There, that worked. So in the last half of the book, all is revealed, and Castle has to navigate his way through all this new information because time is really tight. He really doesn't have any, he's got to be acting on impulses and making snap decisions, and it's pretty, the tension is pretty high. The climax of the book is really well written, really well, actually it's almost like a movie setup. They've managed to bring all the players together in a plausible way, unlike some of the mysteries where somehow they all end up in the same living room. But in this, the players of the plot are all brought together in a very logical way, and the action takes place, the consequences take place, and it's all logical. And we're not left really with a cliffhanger, but we're left with a lot of ponderings as to, because Castle just has not had any time to really process. So as the reader, we haven't really been able to process as well. So we get to realize that there's this ongoing, really tense relationship between the three brothers. And again, I can't say anything that would be a spoiler. The long and the short of it is, this is a rip-rollicking book. Really enjoyed it. The world was very plausible, and the sort of magic curse part of it made sense. It took me a little bit to get into that world story, but it really makes sense. So I'm looking forward to the next two, which are on hold at the library and should be coming soon. And I'm going to sign off because I can hear my husband coming from the basement, and yeah, it's time to go. I hope all your reading dreams and wishes continue to come true. Bye-bye.